Today we will talk about how do you use Embassy to get export data. If you're an exporter, you're trying to start a business abroad, then embassies are one of a very friendly way to start getting data. It's free. I mean, when you write to an embassy, you could write to literally any embassy. They will give you a lot of information for free. Once they start to recognize who you are, they can start introducing you to local businesses. So you're building credibility. Introduction from embassy is extremely important. They have networking events. There's a lot of delegations that they hold, and this is one of the best ways to grow business. Let us discuss a strategy of how do you reach out to the embassies. So before we discuss this, uh, let's just say how what do you write to the embassy. So this is a very simple email you would write. Dear commercial attaché trade section, I'm writing from XYZ company. This is what I do. This is what I want to do. You could pause and read this. Let me show you a live example of what we write it as. So for example, this is an email we would have written. If you like to make it a little bit formal, because embassy likes things written formally, so you can see like how we've written. We've CC'd it to like everybody we could have probably gotten hold of. This was written by my office. Wherever I travel, I get a local number, so you can see a local number here. And also, if it's on a letterhead, it looks even more formal. A lot of embassies really appreciate the effort, so you can see how it's written. Very simple, straightforward letter. And some embassies reply in detail. Sometimes they would send a one-liner saying, "Yeah, come meet us. This is the time today or tomorrow. Choose a time." So it's great. Like you've heard from them. And this is Indian embassy, so chances are high the ambassador or the first officer did himself. They're all very friendly, and then we always reply formally to say that yes, we would be available to see you at this time, and make sure that you confirm the address. Sometimes embassy buildings move. India is busy creating new embassies, bigger, better, shinier. So a lot of countries they have been moving. So this is how like a typical email would look and an exchange would happen. And so how do you find like a list of embassies? You can Google it. You can go to the embassy websites, different embassy websites. Embassypages.com is good. These different things we have found. Uh, Try and find emails of the trade counselor. You can even send to general inbox, but it's better like you personalize it. So the more effort you put in, better would be the responses. Most countries generally have a trade promotion council, and they would list embassy websites. So it's these are not difficult to find. You can go onto AI and get that as well. This is a strategy which has worked very well for us, and we call it the two-way embassy strategy. Now, I'll give you a real life example. So imagine that you want to find some business in Kenya, or you want to set up a project in Kenya. Uh, then what do you go? How do you go about doing this? You should email all the Kenyan embassies around the world. For example, Kenyan embassy in India, Kenya embassy in USA, so on. You can also email all the foreign embassies based in Kenya. So it could be the Indian embassy in Kenya, the US embassy in Kenya, South African embassy in Kenya. And we have done this for over 15, 20 years, and we have seen out of every 100 emails you send, or you would get like 10 replies, and three would be very helpful people. So there was a time we were thinking of building a. Let me first show you an embassy list. So this is a typical embassy list that we have. You would see like here is a list of Kenya embassies overseas. We run mail merge on Google Sheets. Very easy to Google a video. So it would reflect like which email went, which didn't go. So this is a great way of keeping information. This is really old data that we have. Now this is a list of foreign embassies. Like for example, Angolan embassy in Nairobi. This is the email. So this is just a data sheet I pulled out. We have an updated version as well. So this is not really the updated version. And here you are. Look, you got all the embassy details, right? Now, we wanted to reach out to the embassies to wanted to set up a factory for setting up milk powder. And look, this is one of the response we received. This was in 2018. How detailed the response is, I will not read. Another embassy had sent literally a project report, which was a Kenya embassy. This was a Kenya embassy based in Luanda. They would send you their details. There's also a phone number here, their direct cell phone number. But you would notice like they have mentioned things like price of camel milk from local supermarket is this much, production is between this 6 to 8 liters per camel a day. uh, this information to find would have been extremely difficult, and this because the embassy is sending, it's more or less accurate. This is a response from another embassy. This was in Kazakhstan, I believe. They've also given you a more detail here. So this is market intelligence, and if you get 20 sheets like this, you already have enough trade data to start. If you ask them which people are working in this field, they would also send you that. So this is the two-way strategy which we have devised. You can start with one way. Just reach out to Indian embassy in the country you're trying to target, but be specific in your email. Explain what you do and what you want from them. There are different kind of replies you would get. They send you the most helpful replies. They send you trade data buyer list or connect you to an importer. They sometimes redirect you to a promotion council, which is still useful because an embassy has referred you to the trade promotion council. And sometimes they don't reply. Everybody's busy. So you just have to follow up. Follow up is the name of the game. The more you follow up with anyone, uh, we have a rule of eight. This is another thing we'll make a video on, how you need to follow up at least 8 to 12 times to get like a trade response. And most people, most sales agents give up on four. This was a research done by a company called Inside Sales in the United States, which is a very large company, which through which the app through which people make sales. Well, next point is you might get invited to like a trade delegation. Embassies keep hosting it, not just your home country embassy, but others. So you meet a lot of buyers. We've already shown you track everything on Google Sheets. You might need it again and again. So we showed you like if you did like a mail merge, then the status would show. But you can just literally write things down. Uh, this is like the power of follow up. You would send an initial email, but don't send the next email the next day unless you're traveling there. Leave some time. So you're just reminding that person. And during the 7 days, you might have spoken to someone, you might have researched more. So do the every 7 days we recommend do a follow up, and they will find it very hard to ignore. You will get responses. This is just other things you can do when you want to go beyond an email. You can pause it and read it. So we advise. We also do trade advisory. Here is our details. I would like to show you some other things as well. I'm busy writing a book on embassies of what embassies can do to do their jobs better, how they can act like CEOs running companies. And when I was traveling, I made friends with a lot of ministers. Some of them were head of states that I got a meeting with. So this one gentleman, he used to be the prime minister of Madagascar. He became my close friend. And this is a book I'm writing for which he wrote me a foreword, which will go into that book. It's extremely touching forward. I wouldn't like read it, but this is what happens when you go through the embassies and you go meet people, that a lot of things can happen. Here is a photograph of one of the meetings I had in the Indian embassy in Angola. The lady here on the right is Mrs. Pratibha Parker, an extremely kind, helpful lady. She has done a lot for our business, introduced us to a lot of people. The meeting happened at a time when there was COVID. So there's a lot of these photos I could put here, and they would also put this in the embassy newsletter, which they publish every month. Uh, and well, here is I'm looking for a slideshow now. Okay, here we are. Sorry. So here is our details, and you could look us up if you need advisory on something. You're trying to start international business, you need international tax advisory. You want to open companies abroad, you need reps abroad. We can consult for a whole host of things. Even to just help out, you're looking for a job, you want to start an export business. We have a Friends of Mahavir program in which we help you develop business without you having to invest any money. For younger people, we have an entrepreneur in residence program. Uh, so do reach out to us. We love hearing from people, and if there's a way we can help you, we definitely will do so. I hope you enjoyed listening to what I had to say today. That's it from me now.